Hey there. So the Xbox Series X and Series S and the PlayStation 5, they all go on sale this week. And I, of course, would love for you to go over to CNET and read my full reviews of all three of these new consoles. Obviously, the Xbox comes out first. That's on November 10th. And then 2 days later, coincidentally, well, PlayStation 5, that's also going to go on sale if you can actually find one in a store somewhere or you manage to get a pre-order in. So I'm going to give you just a couple of quick thoughts from my reviews on CNET of these devices. And if you want the full story, well, you can go over there and read them. I think the key thing to take away about the Xbox Series X is that this is really Microsoft's latest attempt to Trojan horse a big Windows PC into your living room. That's always been the case. Yes, it's been about games, but it's also been a lot more about social and sharing and shopping and streaming and now Game Pass, their subscription service. It's always been about getting a whole bunch of different services under one roof, connected to your TV and in a spot in the home where everybody in the house is on a fairly regular basis. And that's always been the point, not to make a game machine, but to make a Windows-style machine and put that in your living room. And one thing they do really well with that, actually, is the continuity between different places where you may be playing a game. Great example is one of the very few games earlier optimized for Xbox Series X is like Gears of War 5. And if I play that on the old Xbox, on this new Xbox, on my PC, on xCloud, streaming it, or anything like that, the game save always picks up in the same place, never any questions, never any problems. They've really done a good job of maintaining that continuity, and that's a very PC-like feature to have. And of course, if you want to get the less expensive Series S, which I have right here, I think it's an awesome deal for $300. It's basically, it's almost like a Game Pass machine. You get this, you get Game Pass, a bunch of games. It does a lot of the high-end, ray tracing stuff that the more expensive console does. It just does it at a lower resolution, topping out at 1440 instead of 4K. And frankly, unless you have a giant TV, you're sitting right up close to it, you're not really going to notice. And then, of course, much more buzzy, frankly, is the PlayStation 5. That also comes out this week. It's an amazing coincidence. After 7 years, both of these devices come out within 48 hours of each other. But what PlayStation does really well is really make itself a game-forward machine, because it's got a lot of the exclusives that people are interested in, like Miles Morales, the Demon's Souls remake, a handful of others. And frankly, it's a more ambitious looking machine. The design is bolder. It's more of a statement piece. Even the controller got a very radical overhaul. And the one problem I really have with it, besides the fact that it's really, really super gigantic and tall, is that it's got this little stand on the bottom. Okay, and if you want to lay it over like this, which again you might want to do because not everyone has 16 inches plus headroom in their media cabinet, you have to unscrew this in the bottom and put it on the side and then slide it in there, and you can't just switch orientations on the fly. Which I think is a bit of a design flaw, and frankly this plastic stand that comes with seems like a last-minute kludge to kind of solve some sort of design problem that wasn't worked out fully beforehand. That said, I think the most killer app-style game that I've played so far in any of these machines is the Spider-Man Miles Morales game, and of course you can only get that on PS5. So whether you're running out to buy a console this week, you've already pre-ordered one, you have major FOMO for missing out, or you're just going to stick with your old stuff but want to know what's new and interesting out there, please go to CNET and check out my full reviews of the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S.